Little crazy face right there. Hello everyone, it's Fairy Godmother Mint and welcome back to the Mint Coven. I have a very exciting video today. I know I jump around with themes all the time on this channel. I'm sorry. I like to keep things interesting, and whatever I'm thinking of at that moment is what I want to make a video about. And so I get loads and loads of questions about animal symbolism, so I figured let's just sprinkle some, into the channel every once in a while. And today we are going to talk about serpents. So recently I received this gorgeous pendant. I've been wearing it every day. I made like a little video with it. I'll put a little video here if you want to see it. Here you go. It's one of my favorite pieces of jewelry now, and I wear it all the time. And I chose this beautiful piece because of the serpent, and I wanted to talk about snakes and serpents with you today. This video and the videos like it will be great reference guides for anyone who's dreaming of these animals or having experiences with these animals and want to know, what they mean or what they symbolize to them, what they might be trying to tell them, anything like that. If you are having experience with an animal, I want to just have a little quick reference video so you can say, what does that mean, and check it out. And of course, when you think of a snake, or when I think of a snake, the first thing I think of when it comes to snakes in folklore or snakes in mythology or in religion is the serpent that tempts Eve to eat the apple in La Bible, also known as the Bible. So this is such an interesting story, and I always thought it was really interesting when I was a kid because they really make snakes seem like they're evil creatures. And so people still believe that. People really do believe in their heart of hearts that snakes are just evil when they're animals. They're just living their lives. They're just slinking around doing what they do, eating things, pooping, having snake babies. They're not like, born with like black hearts or something. But I know that people think that they're evil because I know that my mom for the longest time thought that snakes were just evil. Lots of people think that they're evil. I think it's interesting that so many things in this world, so many different types of like plants, animals, like, colors even, are given like personality traits or like these titles of being evil when they just exist. They just exist, and since people have created these stories about them and put them in a very specific light, they are seen as bad, wrong, evil, dark, spooky, scary, malignant, whatever. And it's a trip. It's really a trip. So snakes, while they do a lot of the time symbolize things that are evil or sneaky, conniving, and such, because of the sneaky snake that got Eve to eat the sneaky apple and, become aware of herself. They ate it, and then they were like, oh my god, we're naked, what's going on, what, If you also think of that in a lighter sense, the gift of wisdom is an amazing gift. And even though your first thought or your first interaction with a serpent or a snake in the Bible is one that is seemingly sneaky or evil, there are several accounts of snakes in the Bible where they are revered and seen as givers of wisdom and as being really powerful creatures, very powerful creature. For good nor evil, there's no distinction, just powerful in general. So there isn't only just that idea of evil snakes in the Bible. There's also the idea that snakes are powerful and wise and can bestow wisdom upon you. Snakes are often seen with fertility gods. They are also seen as parts of fertility gods. Very often you'll see a depiction of a god with, a head of a human and then the body of a serpent, or vice versa, the body of a human and the head of a serpent. And that denotes fertility and growth and being very virile and being able to prosper and give a lot of seed to the ground to flourish. Snakes are also very much associated with the tree of life, and of course they're associated with the tree of knowledge of good and evil because of the whole Adam and Eve scenario, but as well as the fact that there are depictions of snakes that eat at the roots of the tree of life, or also the roots of the tree of knowledge and evil, and they kind of get their nourishment from that. They get their nourishment from an everlasting source and from an everlasting source of knowledge as well. So they also have that that characteristic of immortality, that snakes will live forever. You've seen the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself, you know, a serpent eating its tail, and it just goes on and on. It's the infinity symbol, the symbol of immortality and of life everlasting. So that's also a wonderful sort of trait that a serpent or a snake will have. And very often as well, serpents slash snakes slash dragons are often depicted as one another. They're kind of like interchangeable. But we'll get into that a little bit later, because there is also very specific symbolism for each different type of snake, which I will not get into that, but that's a lot. But I will do a video on dragons by themselves as well, because there's just so much. But there are a lot of cases where they are kind of intermingled. You've seen dragons without arms or legs. They're kind of just like, you know, very serpentine, or they have very tiny little arms and legs, but really long noodle bodies, like Haku. He's one of those long noodle snake dragons. They have the ability to move through air, you know, in that dragon aspect, but they also have the ability to move on land and in the water, which also gives the snake the symbolism of being able to move between worlds, between your world, the physical world, through the spiritual world, through all sorts of dimensions and things of that nature. So they have just an incredible amount of movement. Let's talk about some of the wonderful things that snakes symbolize just in everyday life. I said before that they symbolize fertility and growth and being able to create things. Segues into creation. They're also a great symbol for creation, not just creating life, but creating life as well as creating something that is born out of passion. So any kind of art or anything that comes from your soul that you want to put on paper, put out into the world, anything that, you know, cooks up in your creative pot and that you let out. Snakes are a wonderful symbol for that and will help to bring more creative energy to you when you use them. I said before, immortality. They're also great symbols for immortality, for everlasting life, and for everlasting and growing wisdom. They're also wonderful for restoration. Snakes shed their skin. They get rid of anything that, you know, isn't working for them, that doesn't suit them. It comes off, and then they are restored. They have a new body. They have a new sort of outward shell. New transformation. Beautiful, beautiful symbols of transformation, of taking off a guise, or of removing a shell that is no longer working or no longer suits you. Remove that shell to reveal something fresh and new underneath. Beautiful transformation magic. Snakeskin agate is such a wonderful, that jumped directly into stones, but snakeskin agate is a wonderful stone to use for transformation, and it does have that same kind of energy where you are removing something and revealing what is underneath. Very beautiful symbolism there. That also symbolizes rebirth and change. You are swapping out something old for something new. All of these things are so incredibly useful in daily life. Can you imagine not tapping into that serpent energy because someone said, oh, snakes are evil, and you've got all of these other things that you can work with when it comes to serpents? They're just incredible creatures. They don't have legs. They don't have arms. What? They literally slink along the ground on their bellies. They have this beautiful fluid motion that gives you that very sleek, that very smooth transition from one part of life to the next. What other word am I looking for? Flow. And that's another thing, that they have a really nice dual symbolism with earth and water as well, because a snake can just as easily slither on the land as it can in the water. It can just make that transition without even noticing the difference. And that's another beautiful thing when it comes to working with serpents, is having that very smooth flow, that very smooth transition from one life to the next, from one stage to the next, you know, from one appearance to the next. Just so much good serpent energy. Also incredible symbols of healing. You see serpents and snakes on symbols for healing all over the place. Blue Cross Blue Shield, the Catechist. I mean, they're literally everywhere when it comes to medicine and things of that nature. So passionate about Isn't that, it's so embarrassing and hilarious when cats like fall or do something that's clumsy because they're so like, oh, what is the word? Agile, and then they like fall and it's so embarrassing. Snakes and medicine, because of that beautiful combination of wisdom and of vitality, of growth, of transformation, learning about the way the body works, the way that plants and medicine works. Those are all so greatly intertwined. And now let's talk about a little bit more of the spicy symbolism for serpents. So when it comes to sexual energy, snakes are really, really great symbols. They are a symbol of being bold with your passion and your desires and allowing yourself to really feel those things and become one with your own sexual energy, which is really, really beautiful. There's lots and lots of snake symbolism, like coiled snake symbolism with sex magic as well. Virility, vitality, passion, sexual energy, sexual desire. These are just all of the things that come along with snake symbolism. When it comes to dreaming about snakes, there are so many different interpretations depending on what it is. But if you are in a situation where there are people that you don't trust or you can't trust, or you're wondering about whether or not you can trust and you dream about snakes, no, you cannot trust them. There is another reason why the snake is a symbol of something that is sly or sneaky or something that holds information. A fly just flew directly into my eyeball. Full of wisdom or knowledge that they are not sharing with you without there being a price. If you're seeing snakes around people in particular where you're unsure about their character, then yeah, your intuition is correct. Snakes, however, when it comes to partners, can mean one of two things. A, that they aren't trustworthy, but B, that they are very fertile and that you will grow together in a way that will help the both of you really well. It just really depends on the context. So pay attention to all of those things. When it comes to symbolism, pay attention to the context, to the colors that you see, everything else that's around it before you make your judgment. Because it would be so awful if you met somebody new and you guys are hanging out and you're having a good time and you see a snake and you're just like, and then you leave them. You know, remember to use your judgment when it comes to these kinds of symbols, and also to think about everything else that's in place while you're deciphering this message that you're receiving, you know? Snakes are also used to describe people who are liars, people who are deceivers, and who are con artists, people who will take advantage of someone else's kindness, or people who want to sort of play two sides, play nice to your face and be really conniving and secrety behind your back. And those things really come up a great deal when it comes to like dreaming magic, or when it comes to, say, divination and things of that nature. When you're asking specific questions about people or about a situation, those things will often come up to let you know that this is not a situation that is good for you at this time, because the people involved are not trustworthy. So there are some ways that you can use snake symbolism to display distrust, or to display someone or something that is not good for you at this time. Mostly snake symbolism is very positive. And snakes are also seen as a symbol of good luck, especially if you see a snake in your field or your crops or anywhere that you want to flourish. You see a snake there, that is a symbol that is going to grow beautifully. So even though they have a really bad reputation for a lot of people, snakes are an incredible symbol to have. They're an incredible symbol to find. Like I said, when I saw this snake necklace, I jumped on it, because the wisdom of something that has been around for so long, that is literally depicted in ancient art and ancient texts and things. Ancient texts, so hard to say. So many depictions of snakes giving to man and showing man the way, giving them knowledge of medicine, which is really important, showing us that there is so much on this planet that we can use and that we should be really grateful for, and that we can continue to learn about, because through that wisdom piece, they know what lies on the ground in the earth. They can feel vibrations in the earth. Their whole body is along the earth. Imagine if we slid along the ground all the time, fully grounded all the time, being able to feel the vibration of the earth all of the time, and that's how we received our information. Imagine that wisdom. Imagine how sensitive we could be if our bodies are all along our bodies were receptors that could feel the earth at all times. Like Who knows what beautiful knowledge we would have? Who knows what secrets we would hear whispered of those who have lived before us if our entire bodies were flat on the ground just waiting to receive that information? Oh! Anyway, there's so much more symbolism to talk about as well, and I'll leave some links in the description box for more places where you can find even more information on the wonderful, wonderful, incredible serpent/snake. I also really like using the serpent for protection, for that very, very vigilant and very quick-witted kind of protection, to be able to bring things to mind as quickly as I can and to have fast action, fast responses to things that require that, you know? I just really love the duality of having like a viper quick wit and a very languid personality as well. Just being able to have that beautiful duality of strength and power and wisdom, but also just being chill and relaxed and, you know, being very grounded and being very peaceful. I love that beautiful duality that serpents hold. I will have the link for this gorgeous pendant in the description box, and I do have a coupon code as well. It's a good one, MintFairy20, 20%, which is a really nice percentage. And also I am teaming up with Etah Love to give you a $250 gift card to their shop so that you can go ahead and see if there's anything in their shop that you love to have. There are so many beautiful pieces. I also got this ring, which you probably saw in the little video that I showed you, this one. So yes, if you want to enter the giveaway, please head over to my Instagram for instructions there. It is an Instagram only giveaway. I won't be doing anything more about it here on the channel, so head over to Instagram to check that out. Instructions for the giveaway are very easy, and then you can come away with some beautiful pieces of jewelry. $250 is a really huge amount of money for a giveaway, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. Rest, relax, play, be joyful, do a puzzle, and I'll see you guys in the next video.